We've been covering MinIO on the rundown for a number of years now, and they've been a frequent Tech Field Day presenter as well. Now they've introduced their next generation enterprise product labeled AIStor. This release adds I'm sorry, that's not AIStor, that's AIStor. Let me try that again. We've been covering MinIO on the rundown for years now, and they've been a frequent Tech Field Day presenter as well. Now they've introduced their next generation enterprise product dubbed AIStor. This release adds complex AI storage stack from key management, console to catalog, and has more tricks up its sleeve. The new promptObject capability brings self-describing metadata. AIHub is a drop-in replacement for Hugging Face, and S3 over RDMA challenges NFS over RDMA, not to mention GPUDirect. I want to turn this over to our friend and colleague Stephen Foskett to give us his take on this new version of the MinIO Enterprise Object Store. Stephen?
MinIO's open source version is well known and respected in the world, but of course their enterprise object store has found a lot of traction as well. In fact, MinIO is currently the object store of choice for some of the biggest implementations out there in the not just petabyte scale, but maybe even exabyte scale. So adding AI support capabilities is really not a surprise. That's something that a lot of the companies in the object storage, file storage, and even block storage world have been doing. But I was surprised to see a couple of things about this release. Number one, AIStor is their product. That is the enterprise product. It's not like there's this is some special version or something. This is the next generation of the MinIO product. That's not to mean that it's not useful if you're not using AI, by all means. In fact, a lot of these features are things that you may not need, but that may find themselves into other aspects of different non-AI workloads. But of course, the AI workloads are the big story here, and it seems likely that MinIO developed these with a few customers in mind. So let's take a look at a couple of them. First off, the prompt object concept is really kind of clever. Essentially, they have built in the ability for the API to describe itself. And this can be done either in a typical chatbot type window where you ask it about the data and it tells you about the data, or even sounds like it can be done programmatically through an API. I'm not sure how that works, but it's pretty cool. I was surprised to see the AIHub edition, since that's something that is, well, I would have guessed that it would be a standalone product, but I suppose the problem with developing a Hugging Face competitor is who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay for the development effort? Who's going to support it? This way, it's entirely ready to go right out of the box for MinIO customers. Again, I imagine this was probably developed in response to specific customer demands, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're doing some proprietary AI model work, the last thing you want to do is to have to publish everything back up to Hugging Face. And this matches sort of how things are going on the DevOps world as well. I mean, a lot of people are using GitHub, but a lot of people are using private repositories as well. The last thing I want to hit on is this whole concept of S3 over RDMA. If you're not a storage nerd like me, essentially RDMA is a way to do direct memory access from a client to a server over a network. It's been used for a long time in a variety of different protocols. I was eagerly writing and covering Microsoft's SMB over RDMA as part of their SMB3 releases back well, before I started Tech Field Day, that's for sure. And lately we've been seeing customers doing NFS over RDMA as well as a way to accelerate that protocol. S3 over RDMA was new to me, but it makes a lot of sense since so many AI applications are demanding incredible bandwidth and are using object storage protocols like S3. Still, I couldn't help but wonder if this is, again, a point solution for a particular customer, or if it portends more development from MinIO. I wouldn't be surprised, for example, to see them branch out into actual GPUDirect. I wouldn't be surprised to see S3 over RDMA become something that becomes part of the NVIDIA stack in the future. This is all speculation, obviously, nothing that MinIO has said. But the bottom line is they've basically built out their next generation platform as a way to support the biggest, the baddest, and the fastest AI applications, and that's pretty cool.
Well, thanks for that, Stephen. We appreciate your take.